Hey everybody, welcome to SMG Viewers Comments, episode number 43. Just want to give a great big shout out to all the new subscribers who came on board to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us. Every week I try to give out the best recording advice I possibly can. I've got 16 years experience of making records and I'm more than happy to share. All you got to do is ask some cool questions. Speaking of questions, let's get right to it.
Met a bassist drummer who knows about you today. His description of you is exactly as follows, and I quote, "He is a dickhead, but he really does know what he is doing, and he is a fucking great guitarist."
I am not a great guitarist. You want to watch a great guitarist? Watch Robert Baker's channel or Pixie Licks or Garrett Peters. All those guys are far infinitely better guitar players than I could ever possibly be. Hell, Fluff would kick my ass on guitar. So there you go. But I do try to give out the best recording advice I possibly can. And, I'm sorry, some people get butthurt over saying, hey, you should go practice every once in a while. That might help you make a better record. But truth fucking hurts. Next question.
705. I'm a balding 29-year-old and I find this offensive.
And nobody cares what bald people think.
Hi, Glenn. You often mention that you don't like mixing records with drum samples. You don't, however, seem to have a problem with recording digital keyboards and using those in a mix. My question is, how is this any different? Aren't keyboards just basically libraries of digital samples with buttons to play them? I also think drum samples sound soulless, but again, so does the keyboards.
Well, that's a great question. First off, I'm going to say, keyboards aren't really central in metal, not nearly as much as the drums anyway. I mean, like, metal has to have drums, but you can definitely have metal without keyboards. Keyboards are definitely not the first priority in metal. Metal is definitely a meshing of the guitars and drums, so real drums are far more important in my opinion. But that being said, you assume too much, sir. Given the chance, I will record a live instrument every single time when given the opportunity. I mean, I brought in live double bass, live cello, live violin. I mean, like, I've drove across the county, like, loaded up my portable recording rig to go record a grand piano for a track I did with Perpetuate a few years ago. Let's run that clip.
Enter my world, see what you'll see, and you will be a firmament, a testament to the horror that is me.
And that was a fantastic experience doing that, and I really enjoyed doing that. Yes, I will go to all sorts of lengths to record real instruments given the opportunity. There's nothing saying, oh, that's too difficult. If somebody has something available to make a record with, as opposed to using just a keyboard, I will definitely go with a real instrument every single time.
This is seriously fucking cool. Just a question, Glenn. Should I get a Mesa Dual Rectifier or a Rev Generator 120? Planning to get a good tube head for both metal and clean.
As an owner of both amps, I gotta say, go get the Rev, because the Rev does everything extremely well. You not only get one heavy channel, you get two. Plus, you get your green channel, which is your crunch, and then sludge, and then the clean channel is pristine clean. Plus, they won't censor you on their Instagram if you dare criticize them. So, gotta give a big thumbs up to Rev for that one.
Hey Glenn, I was wondering if drummers should hit the toms with rim shots if they can. I know it works for snare, but if it doesn't work for toms, why not?
Generally, I do prefer the toms to be hit in the middle because that gives you the boom. The snare, you want more of a cracking sound, but the toms should go kaboom. I mean, you can add more. Adding the rim shot adds a lot more attack. So, if your toms are sounding a little dull, give it a shot. There's no rule book that says you can't do that. I'd say talk to your drummer. What the fuck was that? Fucking hell. There's nothing in the rule book that says you can't rim shot toms. I'd say do a little A/B comparison for yourself with your drummer, or if you're playing drums yourself. Just give it a shot, try a recording with and without, and see what you like the sound of the best. When it comes to snare, I definitely prefer rim shot snare because that's this massive cracking sound that I was after for years and years and years and years, and I wasn't getting. And then finally one drummer came in and I'm like, what the fuck is up with that snare sound? It's amazing. Oh, I'm playing rim shots, dude. And I'm like, motherfucker. Anyway.
I want a t-shirt that says, ugly big mouth dick face.
Ask and you shall receive. In fact, what's coming up is I am partnering up with a new print company that is, I'm going to be able to offer a shit ton more designs. I've hired a bunch of artists to come up with some really cool designs for merch. So we're going to be doing a bunch more things, but I'm also going to be doing like coffee mugs and iPhone cases and even a set of yoga pants. Those are going to be interesting. Anyway, the really cool thing about that is, especially for the European viewers, is it's going to bring the shipping costs down astronomically. Right now I ship through Canada Post, and they charge an arm, leg, and your firstborn child if you want more than one shirt. And if you guys want to get more than one and you live abroad, anywhere other than US and Canada, right now the shipping costs are pretty damn expensive. What's going to happen is, going through this new print company, they're actually located in the US, so I'm going to be able to take advantage of US shipping costs, and that's going to be significantly cheaper for international purchasers. So I'm very excited about that. It's still a couple weeks out before I'm fully offering that. I'm doing some test prints right now. I'm getting some coffee mugs made up right now, and hopefully I'll be getting those next week, and those are going to be really fucking badass. And I will definitely keep you guys informed. Meanwhile, if you want to support the channel, hit up spectremedia.ca/shop, and you can check out my remaining shirts that I have in stock right now. I'm putting everything back on sale. If you know somebody who's small sized or double and triple XL sized, I'm pricing those shirts to move. So I am, like I said, I just want to get rid of my existing stock right now. So if you guys want a deal on some shirts, whatever I got left, it's all being marked down for the next couple weeks. So if you want to get yourself an SMG shirt, the Rule Number 2 shirt, or the Stop Coming to Mike Dumbass, whatever I've got left, it is marked down. Go get it now.
Glenn, where can I find this Reaper theme? So clean, love it. Also, awesome video as always.
I get that question an awful lot now. Sad truth is, I just keep forgetting to answer it. The theme I use is called Fusion Beta 01.5 or 1.05 or something like that. Anyway, Fusion Beta is the name of the theme. It's awesome. Basically, I switched themes because I'm partially colorblind, and I had a very hard time seeing what tracks were on, because I have a very hard time differentiating certain shades of red against green. It's almost like it's completely invisible. So I found the Fusion Beta theme, and that particular shade of red really stands out on the ARM track, so it's much easier for me to work with. And I know that's a common problem with a lot of dudes, actually, is we're all partially colorblind to one degree or another. So the next time somebody tells you that God invented a perfect eye, tell them, take your glasses off that you use to correct your vision, and tell them, hey, I'm partially colorblind, you dumb fuck.
Hey Glenn, I am mixing a band, but the drummer wants the snare to sound like diarrhea. Should I do it like he likes, or ignore it and keep what I think is best?
Oh, that's the age-old question, isn't it? Generally, I just say to the drummer, here's an idea. How about you play the drums? I'll worry about how it sounds. Maybe that's arrogant, but then again, I get really good drum sounds, so I don't really have to argue with drummers very much. If he wants it to sound like diarrhea, I'd question what you consider sounds like diarrhea at this point. I mean, you're not really giving me any references, like what does it sound, what does it really sound like, all that kind of thing. All I can say is, hey, you know what, follow my steps in how to record heavy drums, and you should get a very good drum sound. And make sure the son of a bitch is playing rim shots, because it will give him a much better sound. And if he hands you the line, something to the effect of, oh, well, I can't play rim shots, just hit him back with, dude, I thought you said you were good.
Hey Glenn, are you still using the Sony A7S? What do you use for lighting? Cheers.
Yes, I'm still using the Sony A7S. It's fucking fantastic for shooting this YouTube series. My camera's on sticks most of the time, so I don't have to worry about rolling shutter issues or anything like that. And if I do need some motion shots or whatnot, I just make sure I have it on a glide cam, and I'm shooting very, very wide. I had a Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera, and it was nice, but it was a huge pain in the ass. The battery life was fucking useless. And it was just a lot of work to work with that camera. I find when shooting a YouTube video, I need a pretty fast turnaround, so I can't spend too much time dicking around in post. The A7S fits the bill, and it's great, and truth be told, I would like about 3 more of them, or the A7R2 or the A7S2, and I just can't wait to see what Sony has in the pipe in this series of cameras. 10-bit would be really fucking nice. Anyway, so that's my thoughts. As for the lights, I'm gonna do a show showing you guys how to build a set. They are basically KinoFlow copies, and they're just a fantastic way to work. And coupled with the A7S, I don't need nearly as much light as I used to, so there you go. It's a win-win situation. So keep your eyes peeled for that video. It's gonna be very informative.
Thank fuck you covered this. No one else seems to, and if they do, they don't go into the depths or provide audio examples. Top job, cunt.
Thanks a lot, fuckhead.
So, Glenn, every video I've come to notice you are a Reaper user, and this has made me wonder why specifically Reaper is your DAW of choice coming from a professional standpoint. Seemingly, the DAW has a strong stigma in the recording industry as a beginner or freeware DAW, and you are often dismissed if you're using it rather than a quote-unquote standard such as Pro Tools or Cubase, likely because of its easy access to amateur recording engineers that put out mostly subpar recordings. And it's interesting to see a pro such as yourself using it. Like to hear what you have to say in it.
I really don't give a shit what the industry is using. I use what I'm comfortable with. I used Saw Studio for 10 years because it was based in machine language. It was like the fastest fucking thing ever. And I used that right up until the time the Slate Virtual Mix Rack came out, and I was so impressed with those plugs. It didn't work with Saw, so I started, trying it out in Reaper, and was getting some pretty good results. To Bob Lentini's credit, he did update his program so VMR would work, but by that time, I kind of switched over to Reaper and was really enjoying using it because I just found, Saw's a 10-year-old program, and Reaper was the interface was much easier to work with. There was a lot of drag and drop. The editing system is outstanding, and it's just a fabulous way to work. The automation's really easy to work with, and most notably, and this has always been my big gripe with Saw Studio, was doing tempo maps in Reaper was really simple as well. You got flags, you can see what's going on. Saw Studio, you kind of have to guess because there's nothing marking where your actual tempo changes and time changes are. So that was a big one for me right there, because doing metal songs, you often wind up with complex tempo maps, and Saw's not really very well equipped to handle that. But when it comes to straight up mixer, the Saw mixer was fucking outstanding. It was just so clean. All the built-in EQs and comps were just like fucking very neutral and just worked exceptionally well. So switching over to Reaper was kind of a big step, but ultimately I think I am getting much better recordings in the long run because it's forced me to work in different ways, and I love how it busses and it just does this and that. And quite frankly, I couldn't give a fuck what the industry standard is. The industry standard is using auto-tune and time aligning everything. And if you listen to the records that the industry is putting out, they're fucking bullshit. So I really couldn't give a flying fuck what the industry says I should be using, because seriously, fuck the industry. All right, gang, that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for your support. Thanks for hitting that subscribe button. Like I said, if you want to support the channel, I've got my t-shirt sale back on. All my shirts are priced to move. Make sure you grab one. Thanks again. I'll see you guys next time. Na 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 na.